Hi folks, welcome back. I'm not going to do the whole intro because most people won't watch this, but I was searching for something and I came across this, and I know quite a few of us on here have got fibro, and I found it really interesting, from King's College London, and this post was on the 1st of July 2021, so like a year ago. And it says, new study shows fibromyalgia likely the result of autoimmune problems. The King's-led study, in collaboration with University of Liverpool and the Karolinska Institute, shows that many of the symptoms in fibro are caused by antibodies increasing the activity of pain-sensing nerves. Sorry, I'm waving my hands about. New research from the Institute of Psychiatry, Psychology and Neuroscience at King's College London, in collaboration with the University of Liverpool and the Karolinska Institute, has shown that many of the symptoms in fibromyalgia are caused by antibodies that increase the activity of pain-sensing nerves throughout the body. The results show that fibro is a disease of the immune system rather than the currently held view that it originates in the brain. That was two American doctors, apparently, who said, no, it's all in their head, it isn't real at all, and that's why nobody believes us. The study, published today in the Journal of Clinical Investigation, demonstrates that the increased pain sensitivity, muscle weakness, reduced movement and reduced number of small nerve fibres in the skin that are typical of FMS are all a consequence of patient antibodies. Dr. David Anderson, study primary investigator at King's College London, said, the implications of this study are profound. Establishing that fibromyalgia is an autoimmune disorder will transform how we view the condition and should pave the way for more effective treatments for the millions of people affected. Our work has uncovered a whole new area of therapeutic options and should give real hope to fibro patients. Previous exploration of therapies has been hampered by our limited understanding of the illness. This should now change. Treatment for FMS is focused on gentle aerobic exercises as well as drug and psychological therapies designed to manage pain, although these have proven ineffective in most patients and have left behind an enormous unmet clinical need. No fucking shit, Sherlock. When I was sent to the pain clinic, I got a cunt of a woman, and I have got no worrying calling her that, who tried to make out that I was a drug-seeking fucking junkie. And while my husband was parking the car and wasn't there to support me, she was like, oh, it must be really difficult having autistic children and this disease. Oh, but don't worry, I won't suggest they're taken off you. Then she was going on about fucking CBT, where you tap your head and do whatever. And I said to her, are you actually gonna tell me of any other pain medication that you know of that you could? And she was like, no. She had no fucking interest in helping me. The minute I'd walked through the door, she read fibro, saw drug-seeking junkie, and fucking said nothing. And when she said, oh, I won't say that, I said, right, I'm gone. Because if I hadn't walked out of that room when she said that about my children, I would have fucking flattened her. I am so sick of the world and its mother saying, oh, it can't be that bad. Oh, that's the thing. My next door neighbour, when I told her I'd just been diagnosed, she went, oh yeah, that's the one doctors don't believe in, isn't it? So sick of people saying, oh, it can't be that bad. Yes, it fucking can. Anyway, I'll carry on reading. The researchers injected mice with antibodies from people living with fibro and observed that the mice rapidly developed an increased sensitivity to pressure and cold, as well as displaying reduced movement, grip strength. In contrast, mice that were injected with antibodies from healthy people were unaffected, demonstrating that patient antibodies cause, or at least are, a major contributor to the disease. Furthermore, the mice injected with fibro antibodies recovered after a few weeks when antibodies had been cleared from their system. This finding strongly suggests that therapies which reduce antibody levels in patients are likely to be effective treatments. Such therapies are already available and are used to treat other disorders that are caused by antibodies. So why, if it's already available, why are they not telling us about it? Why are we handed... Shut up, you and your fucking big willy bike. Why are we being handed amitriptyline, or its equivalent, and painkillers, and then shooed out the door? In England, we used to get disability living allowance, which I got the highest rate of, and it was set to indefinite. Then when they changed from DLA to PIP, personal independence payment, they decided that, yeah, they believed I had fibro, but they didn't think it affected me, like I said, and gave me nothing. And I've lost the thread of the fucking sentence now because of that bike. And that was one of the things that they said. Well, why don't you see a specialist? Why don't you go to the doctors? No. Why would I go to the doctor, apart from the fact my doctor's an arse? Why would I go? What's he going to do? Fuck all is what they do. Why aren't I at a specialist? Because the specialist diagnosed me and shoved me out the door with a fucking pamphlet. You have fibro. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Have I been asked to go back to get... No. And the one time I asked for help, I was sent to the pain clinic and she threatened to take my kids off me. Why would I go anywhere? Fucking wonder. And then this next fucking paragraph's annoyed me because it's like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Current estimates suggest that at least 1 in 40 people are affected by fibro worldwide, 80% of which are women, and is commonly characterised by widespread pain throughout the body as well as fatigue, brackets, often referred to as fibro fog. No, the fatigue isn't referred to as fibro fog, you fuckwits. The fibro fog is when your head's foggy and you can't think of the words you want, or you're mid-sentence and you forget and you just stare off into space. That's fog, not fatigue. The fatigue is a thing all of its own. The fog is a thing all of its own. The pain is a thing all of its own. And we have all of them all of the fucking time. Dr. Andreas Goebel, the study's principal clinical investigator from the University of Liverpool, said, "When I initiated this study in the UK, I expected that some fibro cases may be autoimmune. But David's team have discovered pain-causing antibodies in each recruited patient. The results offer amazing hope." Really? Really? Fucking motorbikes. David's team have discovered pain-causing antibodies in each recruited patient. The results offer amazing hope that the invisible devastating symptoms of fibromyalgia will become treatable. When? Fucking when? This was a year ago and you said you already had the treatment, so why are we not getting it? Professor Camilla Svensson, the study's primary investigator from Karolinska Institute, said, "Antibodies from people with fibro living in 2 different countries, the UK and Sweden, gave similar results, which adds enormous strength to our findings. The next step will be to identify what factors the symptom-inducing antibodies bind to. This will help us not only in terms of developing novel treatment strategies for fibro, but also of blood-based tests for diagnosis which are missing today." Fibromyalgia affects millions of people in the UK and can have a devastating impact on the quality of life. Really, does it? I wish you'd told my fucking PIP assessor that. It causes pain all over the body, fatigue, disturbed sleep, and regular flare-ups where symptoms get even worse. Are you listening, Lardy? That's what a flare is. It's not when it turns up at 8:30 on every other Friday at the fucking base of your head and disappears 5 seconds later after a tramadol. That is not a fucking fibro flare. You no more have fibro than fucking Lisa does. Stop fucking lying and making it so frigging difficult for the rest of us to get treatment and to be understood and to be fucking believed. Nobody believes us because of twats like you that go around saying, I have fibro. You fucking don't. Ugh. Fibromyalgia is a particularly difficult condition to diagnose and manage because its causes are unknown. This research shows that antibodies found in human blood can cause fibromyalgia-like symptoms in mice, suggesting that these antibodies play a crucial role in the condition. Further research is needed, but this offers hope to millions of people with fibromyalgia that an effective treatment could be found in the relatively near future. When? This study was possible thanks to funding from the Medical Research Council, UK, Versus Arthritis, the Liverpool Pain Relief Foundation, the Swedish Research Council, the Nut and Alice Wallenberg Foundation, a donation from the Lundblad family for clinical pain research at the Karolinska Institute and other agencies. There's a couple of things to click to go somewhere else, so I'll put the link to this thing in a pinned comment so that you can go and read it without me raging over the top of it. And it's like, so this was a year ago. How are we actually going to get something that will fucking work? Because I hope so. How cool would that be? I could actually get out of my bedroom. Woohoo! Anyway, thanks for sticking with me if you did. And I'm sorry that you're suffering with this too. But hopefully this sounds like something's happening. Fingers crossed. Catch you later. Bye.